Hello, I'm Nick Kitchen. I'm artistic director of the Heifetz International Music Institute, and I'm also first violinist of the Borromeo String Quartet. And I'm right now inviting you to join us this Sunday for a really marvelous program that the Borromeo Quartet is going to give in Francis Auditorium at 3 p.m. There will be a pre-concert at 2 p.m. talking about some of the music. And then at 3, the first piece we'll play is by Eleanor Alberga. It's a piece she wrote in remembrance of her mother. Very delicate, though also very expressive. A really beautiful piece. And then we go on to a piece that is not so familiar to people, but really marvelous, which is the Sibelius String Quartet. It's the only quartet that Sibelius wrote. It has a first movement. It kind of starts with wandering, and then you discover these mysterious chords. And pretty soon those mysterious chords sort of turn into these absolutely grand chords that end the first movement. There's a totally playful second movement, and the third movement is really the outpouring of expression in this work, really quite gorgeous. The fourth movement is very much full of character, and the fourth movement is very much of a kind of a fiddling movement. After intermission, we will go to the musical heights of one of the great late Beethoven string quartets, and that's Opus 127 in E-flat major. And Opus 127 is the first piece that Beethoven wrote after completing the Ninth Symphony and the Missa Solemnis, these gigantic creations. This is also a gigantic creation in its way, but it has such potent and interesting and intricate dialogue between all the four voices. The first movement starts very grand with a kind of majestic opening called maestoso, actually, majestic. And then a very winding kind of melody holds the whole movement together. The second movement has a gorgeous, quiet theme, and then it's a set of variations that has a huge amount of imagination. By the time we're in the second variation, you would think we're in another movement. It's so full of playfulness. And then, of course, after that, he goes even deeper into the contemplative nature of the music. The third movement is a bit of a romp, so much playing around in the group, very, very fun movement. And the last movement has a sort of gentle, ambling way about it, but Beethoven has this incredible way of taking the theme. You hear the opening, and at the end he changes the meter, and it just sort of makes us rise and rise and rise to the glorious kind of culmination that wraps up this enormous work that he created. I really hope you'll join us. It's such a pleasure to make music where they'll be in Francis Auditorium, and it's just, I know now the Borromeo Quartet has had a few years of being quartet in residence, and along with my being artistic director, and we just love sharing this music with you, and I hope that you'll be able to join us. Thank you.